Has enough been done to answer the very important questions regarding national security in relation to the TikTok deal that was announced a few months ago by the Trump administration? No, enough has not been done. It's been it's sort of been a slide towards an inevitable conclusion of one of the larger scams that will be perpetrated on the American people by the Trump administration for the entire for the entirety of the administration. Yes, it's the deal is inked, but many questions remain. All of the players that were rumored to be involved, many of them still are. Elon is still not a featured player in the game, but you know that he's lurking out there somewhere. It's Larry Ellison at the top of the food chain, which is appropriate for the only man who is higher up on the world's wealthiest uh, people in the world, above Elon Musk, is Larry Ellison, and that position may be tenuous at best because Elon's new deal with Tesla isn't completely fleshed out yet. But the two of those men are so far ahead of the others by by orders of magnitude equal to $100 billion that they're not going to be searching their pants for lunch money to pay the kids. So there is so much very wrong with this deal that we can't cover all of it. Not entirely due to the fact that I'm a Bostonian in my heart, in my soul, and in my geography, which means what is a Bostonian? Bostonians tend to be stubborn bastards. Right? So I am outside. It's 9 actual and minus 3, 4, 5, something like that in the feels like category. But you know, uh, guys in Boston are not supposed to talk about feels like temperatures. And the reason that my hands are below the camera are that I wouldn't want to show you or hide from you the fact that I might be wearing gloves. So we'll just ignore that possibility. So Trump, Larry Ellison, and some of the other cast of characters. How are they protecting the American public's data? How are they improving data security? What was it that the U.S. Congress was so concerned about and the Supreme Court was so concerned about for them to rule that there must be a sale of TikTok in order to allow it to run in the United States? That was then. This is now. So what DJT has done is put together a sham sale where the Chinese Communist Party, fight dance, Chinese Communist Party, are maintaining control of the algorithm. They will tell you that there's going to be there will be a US algorithm. There will be a US model, a US company, a firewalled US entity that will be completely under the control of Larry Ellison and the US partners. But when you do the math, as I did, I wrote about this a month and a half or more ago. It's in the feed. I'll link to it sometime later today. That if you add up the other individuals that are involved in the deal and the likelihood that they're going to surrender to the Chinese Communist Party for business, theoretical, or excuse me, for any reason whatsoever. It has to do with money, right? Then the UAE group that is involved. If China says jump, they say how high. They say yes, sir, and send us some more chips. Not those Yahweh chips, but we want some of the good stuff. We want you to send us some of the NVIDIA chips that the U.S. allowed you to buy, and you'll just kind of like hand a few of those. These are like it's like a poker table, right? And also like a roulette wheel because of the nature of the way that this deal has been put together. The bottom line, you've read lots of things, you've seen lots of things on TikTok itself, on other platforms, uh, well researched reports, uh, discussion, think pieces about the subject. But all you really need to do is to stay on the top line issue. The fear was that the Chinese Communist Party was going to be able to collect the private information of American citizens, and via the algorithm, they were going to be able to adversely affect primarily our youth, America, youngins, and influence elections. That has not changed. Is this an improvement on the prior arrangement? No, it's a change. It's not an improvement. The guardrails that have been installed, if you say that the Trump administration is going to have a quote unquote arm's length relationship with the TikTok deal, well, you're a silly person first. But even if you were to the give them a little bit of grace that they don't deserve, that they none of their behavior has indicated that they deserve, then what would happen is you would look down the line at, say, the midterm elections. You will, if you are a TikTok user, and as I admitted and described, I was late to it because I know that it's a danger to democracy, a danger to children, and a danger in many other ways. But at the same time, you need to keep your enemies close. So you need to understand what it is. Uh, by signing up for a TikTok account, it did not turn me into a data scientist. Just to be clear, because perhaps genealogically I'm not suited to that particular thing, while 20-year-olds are. But I do understand what's going on behind the scenes, which is infinitely more important than whether I can make a pink mustache appear on a picture of Chairman Mao, right? I mean, that's fun, you know, but it's not going to be of great consequence to our what were our democratic norms up until Trump came into office. But as an additional tool that Trump can use to influence the midterm elections and then the general in 28, they will be able to do so because the guardrail, the watchdog, I'm just saying singular right now, is Larry effing Ellison. He is a Trump aligned MAGA supporter. He did, as I detailed in my Ellison episode. He did support Bill Clinton back in the old days, and he builds built some of the most amazing sailboats that ever to race through the oceans in Australia, New Zealand, and otherwise, America's Cup stuff. He is a legend of sailing in that particular competition. But something happened to him, just as something happened to a lot of these freaking clowns like Zuckerberg, Elon, and Jeff Bezos, and many of the other members of that the spineless cadre, right? A lot of things, the people that laid down ass up on that stage during the inauguration, many of them were supporters of progressive candidates, progressive, whatever, of Democratic candidates in the past. But they got sad because of woke, and was woke making them do things that were hard, and were they having to promote too many women and black people? I mean, that's very sad, but is it sad enough to make you want to surrender your, I don't know, surrender your fucking principles, right? Is how sad do you have to be to do that? And that's you, Mark. That's you, Jeff. Elon, long since been done, gone, right? And these people will. Sounds like a squirrel's attacking. Gotta get the dog. They're horrible people, right? And Larry and his his son, who had David Ellison, CBS, the 60 Minutes thing, and the ongoing battle with Netflix to buy Paramount. That's still a thing. That's more influence. There's the CNN element, which is actually still important, even though that that those sort of platforms don't have the kind of juice they used to have. It still matters. I just realized something. I'm going to apologize in advance because that I'm my audio. I left my earbud in when I came outside, which means I'm broadcasting. My audio is through my earbud. Now that may be a saving grace with the wind, where there's a little bit of static because it's rubbing against my hat. But perhaps that's better than the wind. This is a ill-advised venture in any case. But it's sunny out. It's freaking cold. Of course it is. It's New England. We have this tomorrow is going to be, by some estimates, the storm of the. They always have to put, some sort of measurement, like of the century, of the decade, of the millennium, whatever it turns out to be. We're going to get a lot of snow. The mid-Atlantic and on up in Jersey, it looks like it's going to turn to rain eventually. Manhattan always gets a little less snow because it's radiating heat. More now with Zoran Mondani there, and all of the people that have their hair on fire about that particular subject. Silly freaking people. Yeah. So it'll be great. It'll be beautiful. I'll probably, because I'm an idiot, be out here and doing the same thing in the snow. Because why not? I mean, there's a particular football game that matters, but that's at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And the Patriots, if they had waited one more day, Monday in Denver is going to be like 40 or something like that, and Sunday, and tomorrow is going to be 5 or 10 or something. And, they're big kids. They can handle it. They get well compensated, and they're from New England. It's not like the Dolphins going up to Buffalo and in January. They're coming off the beach, coming out of the clubs, and they get cold. But that'll be. I'm very much looking forward to that. Just back to TikTok. So if you listen to other people on Substack, for instance, I saw a comment yesterday from uh, Aaron Parnas, right? So that getting some kind of wobbling on TikTok already, 48 hours after the handoff. Are they going to, with their control of it, the sorts of things that Elon Musk does with X, former Twitter, to suppress voices that are critical of the regime? Elon does that. Twitter does that. There've been a little green shoots of hope with Twitter very recently, but I don't, I don't want to go there quite yet. You need, prove it for a little while. But is the new TikTok regime going to suppress liberal, progressive voices in favor of the Trump regime? Now, on my first days on Twitter, excuse me, TikTok, which were, I think my first day on was maybe the first of the year, something like that. The amount of Trump branded, regime branded content that was in the feed was already disgusting and silly. And, these little videos promoting Trump and covering up the makeup on his hand, whatever it was, just kind of gross and a waste of time. Now we're not paying to be on the platform, and that's the excuse that they're going to use to steal your personal data and sell it, because the Ellisons and the other private equity groups, hedge funds that are Silver Lake and otherwise, that are involved in the TikTok deal, how are they gonna get their money out of it, right? So they're going to take the U.S., quote unquote U.S. version of TikTok and monetize the heck out of it, and they'll pay off the Chinese groups for sure, but they'll monetize the heck out of that. And so ad revenue and data, so they can. I mean, it's absurd, but it happens. So we have to not contemplate it, but understand it. A company like Palantir, right, is a buyer and seller of data, right? They collect data, they collect it from sources, and they turn around and they mold, edit, squeeze, enhance, transmogrify, and otherwise manipulate data. Does that tell me? Oh, the thing about when you're outside and it's like now 9 degrees or 8 degrees, then the battery life, batteries died very quickly. So I'm going to talk more quickly and get the heck out of here. Wish you a beautiful day. So they Palantir, which is, getting big checks from the U.S. government, from Homeland Security, and the most disturbing thing about the Palantir issue right now is that I'm going to just hit a clear the screen thing. Is is that these the Bohunk Jethro ICE officers are running around now and taking photos of the license plates of anybody that is suspected of being not a terrorist but a protester, and they're adding this to the Palantir database that is being by the U.S. government, your government, and all of the voter information that Pamela Joe Bondi demanded from the individual states and the election commissions from the states. Completely illegal, but she already has all of the red state data. The blue states are fighting her, right? She's getting all that data. Now, on top of that, Palantir will have what? TikTok data, your data, because in order to continue using the quote unquote free app, is you will have or already have hit consented to new rules of the road, right? And those you saw those that pop up in the last couple of days, said that If you don't want your data collected, then you have to do these 17 things. And oh, breaking news, you can opt out of just about everything. We're still going to take your shit and then we're going to sell it. I've got the wind coming up, hopefully not ruining all the audio. Yeah, so there, you know, uh, disclaimers, waivers, opt outs, and everything else that they're going to try to sell it. They're going to take your shit. They're going to take my shit and they're going to sell that to Palantir, who's going to turn around again and resell it to the US government, which means who just paid for that? Your tax dollars. So congratulations. You just joined the club. The Tony Soprano, not even Tony Soprano. He was clever, you know, the character, of course, clever and a verified badass. But there's a difference. Trump's not a gangster. Trump's a buffoon, but has a lot of your money to spend to hire very smart people like the nice people at Palantir and Larry Ellison and others to help him manipulate your data for his evil. Sounds like Dr. Evil, but it's worse purposes. So I'm just packing up glasses so they don't blow away. They started blowing. And I'm going to wish you a beautiful day. I'll probably get uncomfortably close to the camera in about half a minute because I need to shut it off and I can't see the freaking thing because I'm old and I can't see. And then the sun is beaming on it, so that makes it more fun. Uh, Pleasure always. Kindly share, restack. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I've been having to, because of the app saying, well, you're near a follow limit and you got to do this. So you got to delete followers in order to follow others. So I've got to go through and anybody that's a follower, you can subscribe for free. So if you're a follower who is not subscribed yet, it's free. I mean, you can do the paid one too, but the free one is right down there in the bottom. There are no tricks on that. I would appreciate having you subscribe because then when I do my tomorrow night after the Patriots smash Broncos, not that I'm biased, uh, I've got to cull the people that I subscribe to that don't subscribe to me. Got to go. Just because they limit the numbers. So in any case, do me a favor. It's free. Subscribe. Share it with somebody else that might enjoy the content. Probably have to worry about their health and wellness if they do enjoy it, but do it anyways just because it would be fun. And wishing you all a warmer day. And I'll see you from the snowfall. Appreciate it. Restack kindly. Have a good day and thank you. And this is when the older guy gets closer to the screen. Let's see if we can do that. The fingers that are working.